gosh, I think Diana was very upset. She was devoted to her father, and I think perhaps any woman who came on the scene and wanted to take up all her father's time, she wouldn't have been too happy.
She was quite aware, I feel, that she was struggling with her schoolwork. She did try, and I think she hadn't a clue why she wasn't good. I think the underlying troubles at home in her family just affected her concentration. Her mind was somewhere else.
Diana failed all of her O-levels, but she was displaying other talents.
She'd go off on her bicycle to visit old ladies, to do their shopping for them, and she obviously had a real talent for dealing with people in that respect, and she obviously enjoyed it as well. And that was quite unusual for people of that age.
Diana helped run dances for patients at this hospital for the mentally and physically handicapped.
Diana was actually very relaxed, which was quite amazing because it was intimidating and overwhelming to walk into that huge place with the level of noise and to see some of the very severely handicapped people that we actually did have. She had most definitely a natural talent for communicating with very vulnerable people. I can remember seeing Diana do something that I was quite amazed because she appreciated that when people in wheelchairs were taken onto the dance floor, because the handles are behind them, they were being whizzed around, but they weren't actually dancing in the same way as other people. Diana danced backwards and drew the wheelchair towards her by holding the arms of the wheelchair. Now, that actually is incredibly agile and clever.
To Diana and her school friends, Prince Charles was a pin-up.
She had photos of him. She seemed to idolise him.
Charles briefly dated Diana's older sister, Sarah.
Finally, she met him, and she rushed into school the following Monday saying, "I've met him, I've met him." And it was like a sort of ongoing fairy tale, and we never dreamed that it would actually come true.
Diana attended this finishing school in Switzerland, but didn't complete the course and went to live in London. In 1979, after studying ballet and cookery, she applied for 2 part-time jobs looking after children.
The agency read her references and they described her as sweet-tempered, wonderful with children, and willing to do whatever she's asked. My doorbell rang a day or 2 later. She said, "Mrs. Robertson, I'm Diana Spencer, so pleased to meet you."
She was never trained. She came purely as an assistant, but she did have a natural way with children. She was very good at getting down to their level, both physically and mentally. She didn't mind at all sitting on the floor, having children climbing all over her. And she talked to them. That's very important. And actually talked to them at eye level.
During the interview, what I liked most was that she focused totally on Patrick. She was ruffling his hair or handing him toys or giving him a little squeeze or a pat. Just absolutely an instant connection between the two of them. I never even checked her references further. I hired her on the spot.
When it came to lunchtime, she would be very happy to help prepare lunch. She was very domesticated.
Prince Charles was living in a very different world.